So this game has been out for a while now. You've seen the videos of players petting the cats and doing the wrestling moves, and you're wondering whether it's the right game for you, but you don't want any spoilers? Well, I'm Daniel from Playerland, and that's exactly why I'm here. Crimson Desert is a single-player RPG from the Korean studio Pearl Abyss, known for its huge MMORPG hit Black Desert Online. So it shouldn't be a big surprise that these two games share not only a very similar name, but also more or less the same world and a lot of gameplay mechanics. The most dominant would be the hack and slash combat, which is very popular in Asian games, and even though I'm not the biggest fan of this style of combat, I have to admit this game pulled it off very well and it's pretty damn satisfying. It took me a while to get used to, but man, once I got it, I definitely saw the appeal. Plus, you have to admit, adding literal wrestling moves to melee combat is the coolest thing ever. But Crimson Desert isn't just some easy peasy game where you overpower everyone. Oh no, once you get to the bosses, you're in for a Souls-like treat. And on top of all of that, you also have an option to try stealth, but it's not very useful. You can take out like 2 or 3 enemies and you're back to full-blown swords fights. Also, might be worth mentioning that this game has multiple weapons from swords, axes, hammers and spears to bows and guns, and plenty of skills from double jump to wrestling moves. As for quests, don't expect anything groundbreaking. It's mostly just the classic, go kill the enemies at that camp, go fetch that item, follow clues to catch the culprit, chase bounties, etc. But the sheer number of them is absolutely insane. You can spend hundreds of hours in this game and will always have something to do in the first playthrough. That's one thing that I missed in my favorite game, The Witcher 3, which, don't get me wrong, is massive and full of content, but once I finished the quests, contracts and question marks, I still didn't want to stop playing, and would really appreciate some repetitive contracts for monster hunting to keep me busy. Honestly, I had fun just running around and exploring the world of Crimson Desert, because it truly is unique and of course absolutely massive. You go from the classic medieval fantasy to a kingdom with electricity and airships. One moment you're freezing in the snowy mountains, and the other you're melting in a hot desert with camels and elephants. The world never feels empty or needlessly bloated and is truly a dream come true for RPG fans. And that also counts for MMORPG and even survival fans, because you're going to spend some time gathering resources for crafting your weapons and armor, like wood, copper and iron, but also hunting animals for their skin, and even upgrading and taking care of your camp. At some points, I felt like the developers added whatever they thought was cool from other games like The Witcher, Red Dead Redemption or Skyrim, and since you can literally switch between characters at any time, apparently they found inspiration even in games like GTA 5. One little shortcoming in the world exploring experience that this game offers would be in the music department. I feel like the music doesn't hit as good as in the other games. It doesn't match the current environment, doesn't really stand out or catch you off guard. It's just sort of there. What's also just there is the story, and it's by far the weakest part of the whole game. The entire plot is just a cliche revenge story of one group against another, and sadly the characters aren't doing anything to redeem it either. Most of them are simply good just because it's good to be good, and bad for the sake of being bad. It's missing the moral grayness, some character development from bad to good or vice versa. Granted, the story was never meant to be the main point of this game, but in a single-player RPG, a story goes a long way. In the very least, if you're not going to make a good story and the main character has basically no personality, why not let us create our own character? It would allow us to dive even deeper into the roleplay and create our own scenarios and personality traits for the character. But since Pearl Abyss changed a lot of things based on players' feedback already, like the storage system, keybinds and some quality of life stuff, there's still hope for that to be added later. I mean the character creation, not the story, to be clear. With the current state of the gaming industry, the bar for optimization and the technical state of recently released games is literally on the ground. So, judging by our current standards, the state of Crimson Desert is exceeding expectations. The game itself has almost no gameplay affecting bugs, and with a game this huge, that is really something. You can see an object clipping in a wall from time to time or the occasional despawn of something, but all in all, it's a miracle it came out so good, and they're still working on it hard, so it will only get better. As for the optimization, the footage you're seeing is from a PC with RTX 5070 Ti on cinematic settings, so the highest it can get, and it ran pretty smoothly even without frame generation. And that's pretty lucky because the frame generation is actually unusable now, as it causes your screen to flicker pretty heavily. But I don't know if that's the game's fault or if it's Nvidia's problem, because it worked just fine until like 2 weeks ago, so I don't know, I guess we'll see. Alright, so who should actually buy this game? Well, as long as you're an RPG fan who loves games that give you complete freedom in a world where you can sink in hundreds of hours, grinding for better equipment and beating tough bosses, then you're golden, or rather crimson. And I can recommend you this game with a clear conscience, and you can head right into the description to get a copy from Player.land. However, if you have a lot on your plate in life and have maybe 4 to 5 hours of gaming time a week, or you simply want a story-driven game that's almost a movie-like experience, then you should keep your distance from Crimson Desert, as that would not be the game for you. And if you want more brutally honest reviews, don't forget to subscribe to Player.land.